From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget.
Thank you very much. Thank you to Matt. What a job he and Mercedes have done. CPEC is a hot item. You got a lot of people standing outside Tri-State. Would anybody like to give up their slot? Would anybody? I want to just pay my respects. CPEC is really, what a job they've done. And I'm thrilled to be back in the heart of Texas with the proud conservative patriots who are courageously leading the battle to, frankly, save our country. That's what it's about. For a year before the election, the fake news media said Texas was in play. It's in play. You know what in play means? Like it's close. And they were right, except it was only in play for me and you, actually. No, it was in play for me. They said the polls have closed in Texas. Donald Trump has won Texas. I was like, but how long did we listen to it? It was in play. It will never be in play if we have the right candidate. This state is never going to be in. This is a very, very special place. It is, and we're going to bring back your energy. I told you this was going to happen. I told you. Actually, Texas believed us. With the help of everyone here today, we will defeat the radical left, the socialist Marxists, and the critical race theorists. Whoever thought would be even using that term? We will secure our borders. We will stop left-wing cancel culture. We will restore free speech and fair elections. And we will make America great again. Very simple. Very simple.
It's great already.
From the very beginning, the people in this room have been some of the staunchest and fiercest supporters of our incredible movement, the greatest political movement in the history of our country. And I can say that, and nobody ever even challenges me. Look at all those fake news people back there. They don't challenge us.
It's messing up. Robot. You sound like a robot. Robot Trump.
They don't even challenge. I want to personally thank each and every one of you for your incredible support, your support of CPAC. You never stopped fighting for me, and I will never, ever stop like that, fighting for you. Promise.
Can't fight no more. He ain't even allowed in the ring.
I especially want to thank two wonderful and really extraordinary people who make this incredible event possible. You know them almost as well as I do, Matt and Mercedes Schlapp. Thank you. Stand up, please. Thank you. Great job.
If we start talking about the election, I'm
Taking
going
it to
to
a
mute it.
whole new level. I appreciate it. Everybody appreciates it. It's true. We all won. We all won.
No, you didn't.
Also with us is
You
a
lost.
true Texas conservative and a real leader. Where is he? Ken Paxton. Where is he? Oh, look at that. And he is fast on the draw. We love Ken. Thank you, Ken, very much. We appreciate you being here. We're also grateful to be joined He's going back home to mom. Mom is not his mom is a big supporter of ours, by the way. He's going to have a rough night. We're grateful to be joined as well by a wonderful, wonderful, not only political person, but a wonderful person, Governor Christie. No. Thank you, Christie. Great job. And we have many, many members of Congress here. Could I ask our great Congress men and women to stand up, please, right now? What a group. What a group. What a group. All warriors. Thank you very much. Thank you, fellas. Warriors. Truly are. They're truly warriors. And countless other conservative leaders and politicians and people that we love and we respect and we are fighting with and we're fighting for. For generations, the American Conservative Union has helped lead the charge to defend our values, protect our country, and preserve our glorious American heritage. You see, they're taking our heritage away. That's not going to happen.
That's not
going to happen.
Why would they?
And we were doing so well until the rigged election happened to come along. We were doing really well. Heritage is under threat like never before. Who would have thought this could have happened? Even Bernie Sanders is saying, I country to the brink of ruin.
Sorry, I was talking
right here in Texas, we are the epicenter of a border and migration crisis unlike anything anyone has ever seen before in the history of our country.
Ever?
At the same time, they have totally obliterated your energy industry. I told you.
He told us.
Under my administration, we achieved a historic reduction in illegal immigration. Never happened before to that extent, and not even close. We ended the horrible catch and release, where we catch a criminal and release him into our country. We actually said, nope, it's called Stay in Mexico, and it worked very well. And we had the support of Mexico. Who else could do that? And you have a great president of Mexico, a friend of mine, he's done a great job. We're on opposite sides of the spectrum, but we got along great, and he's been terrific, and I appreciate it. We stopped asylum fraud, and we struck critical agreements with other countries to stop illegal immigration. We called it, in fact,
true president?
Remain in Mexico.
Why the true? He can't be the true president, bro.
Get released. And you never see
he wouldn't be at CPAC right now if he was the true president, you think? But I appreciate the comment, man. I see you over there, bro. What's good with you, man?
Which is about 1%.
Yeah, all right today. I hope everything's going good.
We reduced drugs pouring across our border by the highest percentage ever in the history of our country. It's not just people. We shut down the migrant caravans. You haven't seen those caravans. Get ready because they're coming up right now. You've been watching them come through. In those caravans, you have some deadly people. We dealt a crippling blow to MS-13. We deported criminal aliens by the thousands and thousands and thousands, and we built almost 500 miles of border wall, the exact wall that the Border Patrol
They didn't build
wanted.
500.
Nice concrete plank.
Oh my God! Come on,
knock it
man.
out. They said, "Sir, we want steel, concrete, and rebar.
Come on.
It has to be wired, sir." So we
Hey, I
can have
appreciate
all
the
the
watch,
drones
big
to
dog.
demonstrate. Remember, they wanted drones. I said, drones are not going to stop people. You remember the statement during the campaign? Two things, everything's obsolete like 2 days after they come up with it nowadays, right? Computers, everything obsolete. They get a better one. Two things, right? What are they? Wheels and walls. They never change. In 1,000 years, you'll say wheels and walls. Walls work. Walls work. Just ask Nancy Pelosi. She has a nice wall around her house. Now the Biden administration has turned the border into the single greatest disaster in American history, and perhaps in world history. Nobody's ever seen a border like this. Other countries don't have a border like this. Illegal border crossings are up over 1,000% from last year. Think of this.
You mean last year during
For
the
the last
pandemic?
3 months in a row, more illegal alien minors have arrived than any other month in United States history. This is the major pipeline for MS-13. These are the worst gang members, they say, anywhere in the world.
Anywhere?
They bring recruits to every state in our country. They run it like a business, but not with me. We were throwing them the hell out of here so fast. ICE.
Baby.
ICE, the great patriots. Tough people, ICE.
The ICE, baby.
Disrespected. You can't have them disrespected. Border Patrol. Brandon's here someplace probably. Oh, where the hell is Brandon? He is so good. What a job he's done.
Who?
Yes, thank you. Thank you. ICE and Border Patrol. Overall, illegal youth arrivals and arrivals are up nearly 500%. Think of that. And they're being resettled in cities and towns all across the United States at taxpayers' expense. And the people in those cities and towns have no idea that they're coming. The taxpayers will also be forced to pay for relatives to be flown from Central America to join them. Did you ever hear of chain migration? You come in illegally and we'll also bring your mother, your father, your grandparents, your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your uncles. Anybody else want to come in? Come on in. We had one on the West Side Highway. He was driving rapidly down the West Side Highway at a very excessive speed. New York City, Hudson River, beautiful new park. And he saw people working out, a big group of people, and he decided to make a right turn. And he killed many and he maimed many. People go out because they want to put themselves in shape. They end up going back home missing a leg, missing a couple of arms, or dead. That's what happened. And he had the right to bring people in with him, his family, his mother and father, his brother. He had many that he brought in. He took very good care of him. But this administration doesn't do that. Many of these children, for the first time ever, a terrible thing is happening to them, are on suicide watch. They end up in a place that they have no idea where it is. No idea. Not the border. It's all, our whole country has become a border. Meanwhile, ICE removals are at the lowest level ever. They are great people, patriots, and they're tough. The agency has been functionally shut down. All of America is now one giant sanctuary city. We were fighting sanctuary cities and doing very well. They're meant for criminal aliens. That's what they're meant for. Under our administration, we sent a very different message to the coyotes, human traffickers, child smugglers, vicious criminal cartels, and savage MS-13 gang members. When I was president, illegal alien criminals knew that if they trespassed across our border, they would be caught, they would be detained, and they would be sent to jail, or we would send them the hell back to where they came from. created the most secure border in all of American history by far. Biden's border crisis is also helping drive an unprecedented crime wave. And you see the crime wave. Even without this, you see all in Democrat-run cities. Please remember that. The bloodshed and violence in these cities is reaching epidemic proportions. Homicides are up 42% in Los Angeles, 37% in Philadelphia, 68% in Atlanta, and over 500% in Portland.
What
over
are
this
you
time
talking
last year.
about?
Think of that, Portland. What they did to Portland, and nothing happens to Antifa, and nothing happens to BLM, but to people that are patriots or conservatives or Republicans. They stay in jails for extended periods of time, and they destroy their lives. We're not going to take it anymore. New York City. In New York City, crime
Do
is
you
out
think
of
it's a problem
control.
with
It's at
January
record
6th,
levels,
folks?
with nobody being prosecuted, except, of course, innocent Republicans are being prosecuted.
Innocent Republic?
The
Innocent?
Democrats know their policies on crime are so unpopular, so radical, so crazy. They are now trying to pretend they never led defund the police movement in the first place. This is we didn't say it was the Republican. All disinformation, you have to be wise to. It's very simple. If you support defunding the police, vote for the radical left Democrats, and you see what's happening to the cities where they defunded the police. There's never been anything like it. If you want more police and more cops on the streets, vote for America First Republicans. Or let's put it very simply, vote for MAGA. Make America great again. MAGA. MAGA,
No,
MAGA, MAGA.
it didn't work the first time or the second time, maybe. So,
The same far-left Democrats who are defunding police are also leading an all-out crusade to strip you, the law-abiding citizens of America, of your God-given Second Amendment rights. I told you again, I told you. And I preserved that right 100%. And you think that was easy? It wasn't easy. There was so much pressure. Republicans must never waver in demanding that the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
I ain't even thinking about the guns right now, man. I'm thinking about guns, but you
Can't let it happen. Thank you.
Thank you.
But it's not only the Second Amendment that the leftists want to destroy. They are hard at work to abolish the First Amendment as well. Probably all amendments when you get right down to it. Why not?
All of
Radical left,
even the 13th one?
It's unlawful. It's unconstitutional. And it is completely un-American. To protect the constitutional rights and liberties of every citizen, this week I filed a major class action. A lot of people are joining.
A whole lot of people. What's it gonna do? Question.
Yeah. A big class action lawsuit against the big tech giants. We are suing Facebook, Twitter, and Google.
Coco.
And to show you the arrogance, I was just talking to Mercedes, I guess. Matt, you announced that they're trying to take this incredible I think much more than 50% of our country. I really do. Because there's no way they can be 50% with defund the police, sanctuary cities, and all of the crazy things that they espouse.
What?
There's no way. But I heard they just filed where they want to take everybody down.
What?
Honestly, they're so spoiled. You know, it's like a spoiled child. I want that toy, Dad, but I also want this one, this one, this one. Eventually,
he literally.
We are taking Mark.
Come on.
Zuckerberg, Jack Dorsey, and the other Silicon Valley billionaires to federal court. And we will keep on fighting until we have stopped this assault on our liberties, until we have restored the sacred right to freedom of speech for every single American. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Could anybody believe we're even talking about this subject 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Who would have believed it? In addition to their malicious attacks on free speech, these Silicon Valley tyrants are also attacking our democracy itself. The big tech election interference in 2020 was an outrageous assault upon our republic and upon the American voter. Terrible thing has happened to our country.
Why didn't you stop the Russians, Trump?
Our election has been studied by other countries. They're not going to do it that way. Mark Zuckerberg alone spent $400 million on election meddling. In virtually all of the key swing states, he funded unmanned and unprotected drop boxes that were deployed in Democrat-run cities and heavily Democrat precincts to scoop up ballots which were supposedly 94, 95, 96% for Joe Biden because he campaigned so well from his base.
Said 94, 95.
How about where Biden did substantially better in the swing states than Barack Hussein Obama with the black population? Now, even though
more people vote every election
throughout the country, but in those 5 places, he did very well. You know about that, Louis, right? He did five places. He did very well. Beat Obama with the black population. I don't think so.
He did. Black people wanted to get you out.
But they practiced that and countless other schemes to illegitimately and illegally boost the Democrat vote. The drop boxes were off very late. Where are they? Where are they? What happened? I can tell you what happened. Sometimes late by days in showing up to the vote count. Just suppressed. In the most horrendous example, the oldest newspaper in America, and one of my favorites, it's a great one, the New York Post, biggest scandals ever to emerge in a presidential election, providing extraordinarily detailed evidence of the corruption of Joe Biden. And where's Hunter Biden? You know where he is? He's painting right now for $500,000. Where's Hunter? His highest and best use, I can tell you, is in a studio to paint. Even though he's never painted before, he set a record for the highest price for a person that never painted a picture. Never did a painting before. Then, without any basis whatsoever, Twitter and Facebook banned the New York Post's account of this terrible story. After the election, one poll showed that at least 10% of Joe Biden's voters would have switched their vote if they had known about Joe and Hunter Biden's scandals, enough to flip the results of numerous states. But don't worry about it because we won those states anyway. Probably the only thing I disagree with. They wouldn't have mattered. They would have found the votes. They would have found those votes. If it was reported, they would have found the votes. A little more. They would have churned out some more ballots. The truth was covered up, and it had a giant impact on the election. This must never happen to another party's presidential candidate again. Can never happen. We are a laughing stock all over the world. And you know who knows it better than even the people in this room? Democrats. Furthermore, these big tech companies interfered with and undermined the sacred integrity of the ballot box by censoring any honest discussion of election fraud. You say election fraud, you get canceled. That's the one thing they want to stay away from. You know, the cancel culture, they're very tough on it, but the thing they really don't want is because we're too close to home. We got too close. Read Time magazine from 4 months ago, the cover story. They couldn't help themselves. It doesn't go all the way, but it goes far enough to see what they did. They want to stay away from talking about the election results. Every time the media references the
Yeah, just hold on for it. I mean, because come on, man. You can't be talking about the election. Why would you do that, Trump? Let's see if he chill.
Then they deleted in Georgia over 100,000 votes. I said,
oh, man. I don't know, the last time he was talking about this and I broadcasted, they gave me a strike, man. So I don't know if they're giving people strikes for this or not. I don't know. So I'd much rather just be safe and sorry.
Governor of Georgia and Georgia Secretary of State let us down.
Oh my God, I want to hear it so bad too. Damn it.
The way the voting law they passed is far weaker than that of Texas and other states. You hear that, Mr. Attorney General? They don't even have signature verification. Could you imagine passing a voting law? But they're getting a little good because everyone thinks, oh, they're passing this. No, it's not. And you notice they're the only state that's being sued by the federal government. You know why? Because it's an easy target.
Come on. But why are you still talking about this? Let it go.
Secretary of State won't defend.
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go, man.
So, I only speak the truth.
No, you don't.
And the
On a Sunday, you're lying,
General
Trump. That's cold-blooded.
Going after Georgia it's so bad what they've done, and they'll probably win, and that defense. What's called a mandated consent decree, which was not approved by the legislature, therefore it's illegal, and makes it very easy for Democrats to cheat and to win elections. You don't have too many of them in Texas, do you, Louis? Doc Ronnie, do we have it? The great Doc Ronnie? My doctor became a congressman, right? He only beat 22 people. 22 people. He was great. I said, Doc, how about if I take a cognitive test? He said, well, you can do it, sir, but if you do, it'll be public. Well, I said, what's wrong with that? He said, well, if you don't do well, sir, it's not going to be pretty. I said, is it hard? He said, after the first 5 questions, it gets very hard.
What?
I said, let's take a shot at it. And we did it, and we aced it, right? I aced it.
He aced it. 27 questions, he aced.
And one of the doctors said he's never seen anybody that aced it. And some of those questions are not easy, I will tell you that. How do you think Joe would do on a cognitive? Hey, you never know. Maybe he's underneath there. Somebody that's very unusual. Unfortunately, this was an election where the person that counts the votes was far more important than the candidate, no matter how many votes that candidate got, and we got record numbers of votes. It's a disgrace to our nation, and we are truly being scorned and disrespected all over the world. Never forget that the radical left is not the majority in this country. We are the majority, and it's not even close. It's not even close.
How did you lose then, my brother? Fix and do.
And when you look at their policies, it's just no way that can happen. There's no way. Weak military, they fight against the military, always fighting budgets, military. We need strong military right now, so strong. And having rebuilt the U.S. military is one of my greatest achievements. It was a sick and tired military. The equipment was old and depleted. And now we have those brand new F-35s and everything's brand new. And we have a great military, or it's coming soon and they won't be able to stop it. But the radical left cheat in elections. And the fake news media cheats in polling, like having me down 17 points just before the election in Wisconsin. No, in Wisconsin, Donald Trump, ABC, Washington Post, just before. And when people hear that's called suppression, they say, we love the president. We're going to stay home. Let's watch television. Harry. So that's a good idea. Harry's going to stay home with Janet. I'm down 17 points, and I felt I was winning the state, and we did, in my opinion, win the state, but it was very close, even by their fake numbers. It was very close, so they have it down 17 points. And interestingly, in 2016, the exact same thing happened. They had me down 19 points. Same people, ABC News, Washington Post, suppression. I was down 19 points, and I won the state. So that's a fake poll. It should be illegal. It's a fake poll. The same people, at least they got better. They had 17 instead of 19. But I was down 4 years ago. We got them by surprise in 2016. They said, we're never going to let that happen again. That's what happened. Americans do not support the woke left. The people are with us. You have no idea how much. You have no idea how much. In a recent, highly respected Rasmussen poll, 58% of voters say the media is truly the enemy of the people. Think of that. 58%. And only 23% disagreed. Nobody can tell me that defunding the police, open borders, raising your taxes. It used to be, you're running for office, we're going to cut your taxes. This is the only time in history. We're going to raise your taxes. Oh, I'm going to vote for him. I want to raise them. And they're raising your taxes so you can waste this money on the Green New Deal, which is nonsense.
Man, he ain't talking about nothing.
So they want to put back the regulations. I took off more regulations than any president in history. And that's what gave us, really. I actually think, Louis, it was more important than the taxes, than cutting taxes. But we took off the regulations. It used to take 20 years to get highways approved and roads approved. And we got it down to 2, and we're going to try and get it down to 1. Well, we were going to get it down to 1. Now we're going to have to wait a little while, I guess. It'll get back up to about 18 or 20 pretty soon, and then we'll bring it down one day. Just wait and see. The Democrats are terrible at policy, but they're very vicious, and they're smart, and they stick together. They don't have Mitt Romneys and little Ben Sasses, and Bill Cassidy. How about Bill Cassidy? He campaigns in the great state of Louisiana. He campaigns that he's Trump's friend. Every ad has Trump in it. Trump, 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 Trump. And then he votes to impeach me. I mean, can you believe it? But I always sort of felt that about that guy. Lightweight. You have another very good senator there. John Kennedy. He's very good. Very good senator.